Hello everyone, it's good to see you again. And in this chess game, again we have Bobby Fischer. In these days, I'm showing Bobby Fischer's chess games. So I have few more Fischer chess games to show, as I'm a little bit obsessed with Bobby Fischer's chess games. So in this chess game, his opponent was Volf Bergraser, who was 2 times chess champion of France, a very strong chess master, and he was a chess correspondence grandmaster at correspondence chess. So this chess game was played in the Monte Carlo chess tournament in 1967. So according to some resources, Mr. Bergraser was not feeling well in this chess tournament as he had a health condition. He was basically developing pneumonia. Because of this health problem, he didn't do very well. He was not in good condition, and he was not in good shape, of course, and that's very dangerous against a very strong chess player like Bobby Fischer, as only one mistake is all it takes against Bobby Fischer. Of course, Fischer was extremely strong and accurate. So let's see what happened in this chess game. Actually, that one mistake came in this game. So Mr. Bergraser, maybe because of his health condition, he cracked under the pressure. So we will see what happened at the critical moment of this chess game. So Fischer starts the game with e4, best by test. So d5, the Scandinavian defense, and according to some resources, Bobby Fischer laughed at the Scandinavian defense famously against one of his opponents, not against Bergraser, but when his opponent played d5, the Scandinavian defense, he laughed. He was basically laughing to his opponent's face. So e takes on d5, knight to f6, queen takes pawn is, I believe, the most played move. So bishop to b5, checking the king by Bobby Fischer. So basically with this move, Bobby Fischer is holding on to his pawn. But d4, developing the knight, and knight to c3 are also some of the most played moves. So is bishop to c4, but this move is also holding on to the pawn. So bishop to d7, bishop to c4, and Bobby Fischer is being greedy, and he is keeping his pawn. So bishop to g4, f3, bishop back, and then g4, chasing the bishop and sending the bishop back home. So developing the knight and defending the pawn again. So knight from b to d7 and chasing the bishop. So Fischer checks the king, black has to block with the knight is under attack. And then f4 by Fischer, so relieving his position, he can develop the knight, develop the queen. He had a crumpy position. So we have knight takes, and then pushing the pawn, forking two pieces, black is getting back the pawn. An interesting choice of opening actually, which is uncommon so far. So a bishop takes pawn and then retreating the knight is possible, but Fischer didn't want to lose his bishop, so bishop to c4, capturing, and then basically Bobby Fischer is still a pawn up. So his policy of keeping his pawn worked against Bergraser. Knight to a5, that's a discovery attack to the bishop. If capturing the knight, so white is going to have 2 pawn islands, and queen takes bishop with attacking the rook as well. Of course, so not capturing. Bishop to e4, so far Bergraser is quite crafty against Bobby Fischer. So bishop to g4, developing the knight, and if exchanging the pieces, I think white is going to have a better position with being more active. So knight to c6, d4 by Fischer, and then e6, and then c3. Well, what happens if eliminating the defender and hoping to capture this pawn, as white is a pawn up? But then bishop takes on f3 and everything is under control. So if knight takes on d4, then bishop takes on b7 and white is better. So in this position, of course, if queen takes, that would be a disaster because of bishop takes knight, eliminating the defender, check, and then capturing the queen, and that would be a horrible blunder. So okay, e6, c3, queen to c7, queen to a4, and again Bobby Fischer is basically a pawn up and he is better. So capturing, giving up the bishop, Fischer was attacking the bishop, and black castled. queen to c4, threatening to take the pawn with check, king to b8, bishop to e3, and then bishop to d6. I mean, if capturing the pawn, then bishop to d6 with attacking this pawn, threatening rook to e8. So this is why Fischer played bishop to e3, bishop to d6, g takes, and then Fischer has the control of the open file. Bishop takes on c6, and if pawn takes, according to the engine, queen takes, if queen takes, exchanging the queens and capturing back with the pawn, and black is going to have some isolated pawns, as you can see, and white is going to be better. So we have pawn takes and then rook to f1. So maybe capturing the pawn and then retreating the queen is possible. So we have e5. And Fischer captured, and we have this open position. If capturing, white is going to have problems castling. So Fischer castled, and we have rook from h to f8. Now look at this. Let's play a random move. I see rook to f7, and if blocking with the rook, then we can capturing, and then capturing, and the bishop is pinned. White is winning a piece. So basically threatening to infiltrate on f7. They say rook on the f7, rook on the 7th rank. If I can talk, rook on the 7th rank is like a pick on the is like a pick on the 7th rank, as it is going to collect everything like Pac-Man, the video game. So we have rook from h to f8 and exchanging the rooks. Now, actually, it looks like this is such a normal move because Fischer was threatening rook to f7 in the first place, and you saw how dangerous it was. So basically black is fighting for this open file, but basically this was a blunder. Bobby Fischer captured the rook, and we have rook takes. I mean, if bishop takes, then pawn takes. White is going to be a solid 2 pawns up. Queen takes is not possible because of bishop to f4. And then d takes on e5, and bishop back is possible, but if bishop back, again white is going to be basically 2 pawns up. So we have bishop takes on e5, and this was a blunder of epic proportions. Can you see why? Because of check, forking the king and the rook, and it was horrible. And basically after checking the king, Bergraser resigned, maybe because of his health problems. He played pretty weak against Bobby Fischer. A very beautiful chess game, an interactive chess game. So thank you so much for watching, and I hope to see you next time. Take care and bye bye.